Officers, this man should be arrested. I have a constitutional obligation to be in this room under 1611-34.1. This man should be arrested for breaking the law. We all upheld our hand and swore an oath to the Constitution.
Man, what the hell is going on in Georgia? Well, we got to talk about the drama that's taking place in the Georgia state capitol. The infighting amongst the Republicans, the GOP, and in the words of Senator Colton Moore, the peach state is no longer the peach state. It is the banana state, as it is a banana republic. Let's get into it. So I'm going to read the article and I'm going to put the clips in as I go. So just watch it all the way. If it's your first time on the channel, basically my channel is mean tweet commentary. Liberals, regressives, and wokesters, Democrats, they hated Trump's mean tweets. I do mean tweet commentary. That's all I do. So now you know. Please hit the like and comment and make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. With that being said, state senator arrested at Georgia Capitol while trying to enter House chambers.
Tense moments inside the state capitol this morning. Georgia state troopers arrested that state senator. Fox 5 obtained the mugshot of Republican Senator Colton Moore. Moore's been banned from entering the House chamber, and he was led away in handcuffs after he tried to force his way in for the governor's State of the State address. Fox 5's Deidre Dukes is live at the state capitol with more on the political drama. Deidre.
Yeah, drama indeed, Christine. Now, Senator Moore tried to pass through these doors along with his Senate colleagues, but things quickly grew heated when he was denied entry. High drama at the state capitol Thursday.
It has gone too far. I have an obligation to be in that room.
Republican Senator Colton Moore led away in handcuffs after tussling with Georgia state troopers.
Complete violation of the Georgia Constitution. I have an obligation to represent the people of Northwest Georgia.
Moore detained following a heated exchange with a Capitol staffer who barred him from entering the House chamber for Governor Kemp's State of the State address. Moore was banned from the chamber by House leaders last year after he made disparaging remarks about late House Speaker David Ralston. The senator was escorted to a waiting patrol car and transported to the Fulton County Jail.
But Georgia's economic success.
As the governor delivered his 7th State of the State address, laying out his legislative priorities for this session, GOP Party Chairman Josh McCoon criticized lawmakers in a written statement saying, no duly elected member of the state House or state Senate, regardless of party or position on an issue of the day, should be denied the opportunity to represent the people who elected them at any such joint session.
Well, the Speaker of the House has the responsibility of maintaining order and decorum in the House chamber. He's done that here today.
House leaders defended their actions.
This senator caused a very dangerous situation, endangering law enforcement, doorkeepers, staff individuals that were present.
Now, Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones issued a written statement in support of Moore this afternoon, stating, whatever personal differences Senator Moore has with others, he is a member of the body over which I preside. All elected 56 senators and 180 representatives deserve the opportunity to fulfill their responsibility to attend joint sessions of the General Assembly. There is real work to be done this session, and the focus should be on delivering for the people of Georgia instead of personal grievances and egos. Senator Moore indicating this afternoon that this is far from over, saying that he may press charges.
A Georgia state senator has been taken into custody after he defied an order banning him from the House chambers during Governor Brian Kemp's State of the State address. Last year, State Senator Colton Moore, a Republican out of Trenton, was banished from setting foot on the Georgia House floor. After attempting to get into the chamber, Moore was removed by the Georgia State Patrol.
All right, stop, that's it.
It has gone too far. I have an obligation to be in that room. I represent 200,000 people in Northwest Georgia who duly elected me to be here today. And you're hindering that. Unconstitutional. You have no respect for the Constitution. Complete disrespect to the Constitution.
I don't want to go down this road with you.
Major Langford, I have a constitutional
I
obligation
understand what
to
you're
be
saying.
there, sir.
I understand what you're saying. This has gone too far. We're gonna stop.
So you're preventing me from entering.
You're saying you're not allowed to.
Sir, the doorkeeper has no authority.
Sir,
As a senator of a joint session, I have more authority than this doorkeeper of the House.
you're causing disturbance. You've gone to that.
Sir, I've not caused a disturbance. I need to be let in.
You're not going in. You're free to stand out here and hang out. And if there's any issues that you try to push from the prison, we're gonna have an issue.
Gentlemen, I'm allowed in.
You're not allowed.
Let me in.
You're not allowed in the House chambers.
You're under arrest, okay?
Can y'all back up, please? Can y'all back up, please?
So after watching that, I have a lot of questions. And because I have those questions, it caused me to kind of dig a little bit on, you know, what would cause state police to take this type of action, or House door representatives, I guess the keepers of the door, to uphold such a ban, to banish a man that represents, like he said, over 200-something thousand people, that his constituents that voted him into that position, wherein it is his constitutional right, based off the Constitution and his constituents, for him to represent, to be in that chambers to listen to the state of the state address. So I had to dig deeper, and when I did do a little bit more deeper, I said, well, what would cause him to even get a ban like that? And I looked a little deeper, so I'm going to play the video, and then we'll go a little bit more into it. Play the clip. Let's hear what he's got to say. I'm going to put some pauses in there as we go. That way I don't get the copyright. I'll put the link in there if you want to go and watch it without my commentary, but I promise I'll kind of let him talk.
Thank you, Mr. President. Heard a lot about courage and conviction from the previous speaker. Majority Leader referenced fierce independence. Well, I reckon the speaker and myself come from a similar bloodline. Because, Senators, I rise today in a steadfast opposition to Senate Resolution 687.
All right, sound like he's getting ready to cook. He's setting up his argument.
My fellow senators, I think to bring a comparison to who this man was, we should first look at one of the greatest Georgians to ever live. A man who is globally recognized as a symbol of justice. Who am I talking about? Martin Luther King Jr.
I don't know why he brought Martin Luther King Jr., but I'm sure that it's going to play some emphasis into his argument. But Martin Luther King Jr. was a Marxist. He was anti-American as hell.
A man, what did he say? He said an injustice anywhere was a threat to justice everywhere.
Fannie Willis.
Powerful words that we should think about as we vote for this resolution. Because this body is about to perpetually memorialize, in my opinion, one of the most corrupt Georgia leaders we'll ever see in our lifetimes.
Sound like he getting ready to drop that mean tweet commentary on him.
I first remember learning about a girl named Haley when I served in the chamber across the way. Haley was brutally raped, sodomized in her living room by a man her family trusted.
Wow.
That man was Jason Brothers.
Wow.
And he hired Speaker David Ralston as his attorney, not to defend him, but to protect him from justice.
I mean, that's subjective. I know that the person, sometimes lawyers, they represent people, pure degenerates, right? So that's subjective, but I get where he's going at with it. It sounds like the person that he had, this Ralston dude, had to represent as a lawyer, it was a pure piece of POS.
You see, for nearly a decade, this case rocked on, and Haley became terminally ill, never seeing justice. Her family once walked in on her in a bathtub with blood as she contemplated suicide.
Wow.
And you probably say, Senator, well, that's just one case. Where can you go with that? But no, there were several more. There was a case of a lady who lost her daughter in her arms as she bled out because a man was driving drunk. Destroyed the woman's family. But she wasn't able to get justice because the man charged with the DUI hired Speaker David Ralston as his attorney.
I mean, that's sad, tragic, man. But again, you know, sometimes attorneys have to represent degenerates, right? Whoever has the money to hire them. But I get it. How does that work? If you're a lawyer, I want to know, is there a moral compass with it? Do you say, hey, I'm not taking the money. I don't want to represent this. Morally, I can't do it. I'm stepping down. There's a conflict of interest. Or do you have to sometimes you just represent a degenerate?
You see, there was a man named Derek Key who for 10 years delayed cases after molesting a 14-year-old child being protected by David Ralston. Now, how did David Ralston do this? We heard about him being chairman of Judiciary Non-Civil. Well, back in 2006, there was a bill called Senate Bill 503.
Now, see, this is where I'm going to have to agree with them. Now, the lawyer part, we could argue that. The subjective, sometimes lawyers got to represent degenerates. So it's up to the lawyer whether they want to pass or not. So, I mean, that's a whole nother conversation. I do want to know your thoughts. But this is where I'm probably going to be like, all right, there's some corruption going on here.
The man created the legislative leave and then profited off of it, making hundreds of thousands of dollars protecting people from justice. You see, the truth is hard to hear.
Sounds like they didn't like that mean tweet commentary. I don't care if it's Nancy Pelosi with the Democratic side. If it's a Republican with the same type of actions as Nancy Pelosi or any of these other corrupt politicians that are lining their pockets, cheating, cutting corners, ripping off the American taxpayer, hey, man, he's calling a spade a spade. Sounds like they don't like his mean tweet commentary. As you see that they erupted after he said that.
You see, the truth is hard to hear.
Senator,
Mr. President.
we got decorum, rules here in this chamber. And I think you've made your point, sir. So if you could just go ahead and wrap up, we'd be appreciative.
Mr. President, I know it's hard to hear, but there were thousands of case delays. And make no mistake, these egregious examples I've given is no semblance of morality. You see, we as lawmakers are supposed to protect the vulnerable, Mr. President.
I agree.
We're supposed to protect children. We're supposed to protect law enforcement officers. Think about the law enforcement officers who were assaulted and weren't able to get to justice because of this man. You see, the Speaker turned a blind eye to what we as legislators know to be truth. And records show that after he was Speaker, he did not attend another court case. You see, he had more than 164 clients because if you're not trying those clients, you just pick up more and more of them. No court, less work.
I don't see anything egregious of what he's saying.
He had an operation. He was running an industry, Mr. President, and all he was using was a simple form letter, sending it to the court, referencing the code section that the man created in 2006.
Senator, not the time or place. Not the time or place.
Mr.
Go
President,
ahead and yield the well, Senator.
at your request.
Thank you, Senator.
The man sound like he had decorum. He sound very professional. He used his First Amendment right and laid it out. To me, I don't see what was so disparaging. It sounds like the guy was exercising his First Amendment right in calling something a straight and narrow. This Ralston dude, based off of Colton Moore, sounded like he was a POS. I would have to dig in a little bit deeper, as I don't know who Ralston or whatever his name was. But it sounds like he was a POS and representing and getting people out of vicious crimes that they should probably have been held accountable for based off what he's saying and whatever the evidence may be. I will have to look further into that. But it also sounds like he was a corrupt politician. You know, even though I'm on the right, we do know that we have Republican rhinos, right? We do have Republicans that are not American first. And it sounds like that they band together and not liking that the man was doing basically what I do, mean tweet commentary and calling it as a straight shooter, bringing the facts and saying, hey, I'm opposed to you guys changing the name to this guy as he was a POS. I don't know. I want to know what your thoughts are on that. But it only raises one of like, how can they do this? Is this constitutional? Is it illegal? To me, I think it's illegal. Like many of the other ones pointed out, like, hey, you got to put your egos to the side. You got to put your indifferences to the side. And, you know, there's some decorum. Yes, there's decorum while you're calling people out, but it didn't sound like he was saying anything really too disparaging to me. Sounds like he was calling it straight, painting a different picture of the man, while obviously people that were friends with him are going to speak highly of him. But on the flip side, there's people that maybe dislike him, or they're calling things out, putting the facts on the table about what kind of person he was and what he stood for and represented. And I think that that's facts. I think if you're going to bring the facts and call a spade a spade, call a spade a spade. So I think what they did was unconstitutional. I think that the guy they should be investigating and probably pressing charges with whoever the doorman was that basically tripped and somewhat slammed him or pushed him down to the floor. He should probably have charges, as well as all the police officers. He sounds like he's got a major lawsuit to me. Colton Moore, I'm hearing that he is an American first Trump. He's definitely down with the American first. But I want to go into, that's his mugshot. So basically he's got a mugshot like Trump now. But I want to play a video real quick. This is him when he got out of jail, Fulton County. We all know Fulton County was a corrupt, it's got Fannie Willis, fancy pants, jigaboo, gangsta boo, Fannie Willis that likes to allegedly bang the people that's around her staff members, her subordinates, and then hire them and then funnel money. Y'all know the story, allegedly. Y'all, I have to say that, but it is what it is. But Fulton County is one of the most corrupt counties in Georgia. And it sounds like Colton is putting out mean tweet commentary and they didn't like it, so they banned him. I think that they're wrong. I think he has a major, major lawsuit, but I want you to hear what he has to say.
I don't know what the state of the state is, but I know we're certainly not the peach state anymore. We're the banana state because we reside in a banana republic. No matter who you are or where you're from in the state of Georgia, your representation was denied today. Because if this authoritarian Speaker of the House, John Burns, can stop a member of a General Assembly from entering a joint session, which both chambers unanimously voted to create and to have, then he is by definition a tyrant and authoritarian. Who really controls this state? Is it John Burns or is it Brian Kemp? Today, I don't know. I didn't get to attend the State of the State address. You know, it's absolutely unbelievable that this is the state that we live in, considering nothing like this has ever happened in the history of the state of Georgia. So let all Georgians be warned that freedom is being taken away. I don't believe that they're after me. I believe they're after what I stand for. You know, just like President Donald Trump said, you know, they're not after him, they're after you. Because when you start fighting for America first and for Georgia first, this is what the Rhino Republicans try to do for you. You see, it's so ironic that it's the America First patriots that end up here on Rice Street. Donald Trump, myself. You know, Brian Kemp, the AG Chris Carr, John Burns, they've done absolutely nothing but try to hinder the voice of good, sound policy in this state. I'll never back down. I'll never give up. They'll have to put a bullet in my head to ever stop me.
Amen.
I agree with them. Regardless of what someone says that they banned him or banished him, we all heard it now. It wasn't as bad as it sounds. He didn't sound disparaging to me. It sounded like he was calling a straight arrow. But hey, we're here now. And I think that they violated his rights. All the officers that were involved, I think he should file complaints, go through the process of filing a complaint and then filing a lawsuit for them denying him as a representative of 200-something thousand people out in Trenton that voted him in to represent his constituents. He was denied his right to be there to represent his people. That they did call it straight. So they're wrong in this, but I want to know what your thoughts are. Do you think that they were wrong? Do you think he was wrong? Would I act that way? Would I just let the dude kind of trip me and I lose balance and fall to the floor? Would I continue to push the envelope? I don't know. I think this is what courage looks like sometimes. Maybe my actions might have been a little bit different. I don't think I would try to fight the police at all. I think that they unconsciously, or they just, like tyrants, upkept with the other tyrant that put the ban on them from being able to come into the house to hear the State of the State address. I don't know. I want to know what your thoughts are. Y'all know what time it is, man. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get more mean tweet commentary. And as always, it's your boy, Craig Long, 45. You can't make this shit up. I'm out. Peace.
Yeah, oi.